You know that feeling, right? That little sting when someone disrespects you, that moment of confusion. Well, what if I told you it's almost never an accident? We're about to dig into the unspoken rules of respect, and trust me, it's going to change how you look at pretty much every interaction you have. All right, I want you to think about the last time someone disrespected you. Maybe it was that little jab in a meeting, or that friend who always cancels on you last second. Do we just chalk it up to them being clumsy or forgetful? Is it really just an accident? The answer? Nope. Never. It's not a mistake. It's not a misunderstanding. It is absolutely a message. And learning how to read that message, well, that's the first step to getting your power back. And that brings us to the first big idea here. Disrespect isn't just some random, chaotic thing. It's a test, a very calculated test of your boundaries. I mean, really think about this. People don't accidentally disrespect the CEO, right? Or the most intimidating person in the room. They pick their targets. They're weighing the odds, making a calculated risk, and they've decided to try it with you. See, the question isn't, why did they do that to me? The real question, the one that changes everything, is what was it about me that made them feel safe enough to even try? So, okay, if it's a test, then what's on the test? What are they trying to find out? It's simple, really. They're collecting data on you. And whether they realize it or not, in their head, they're running a checklist. Will she just laugh this off? Will she say it's okay right away? Will she stay? And every single time you give that nervous little laugh or you're too quick to forgive, boom, you just handed over the exact data they were looking for. And here's the kicker. If the data comes back and says, yep, she'll put up with it, then you've just taught them exactly how to treat you. You basically handed them the lesson plan for how to disrespect you from now on. So if you're the one doing the teaching, how do you change the lesson plan? This brings us to a huge point. You are always teaching people your rules. And here's the most important part of that. It's not about what you say. Forget the long, drawn-out explanations. People don't learn from your words. They learn from what you tolerate. The second you let something slide, you've just given them silent permission to do it again. So many of us, we just stay quiet because we're terrified of being called dramatic or too much. But let's get one thing crystal clear. The only people who think your boundaries are dramatic are the ones who are benefiting from you not having any. The people who actually respect you, they're happy to know where the lines are. It makes things easier for them. And this is how that really dangerous cycle starts, right? You try to be chill about something that actually bothers you. They see that as a green light to push a little more. And it just keeps going and going and going until one day you finally snap. And guess what they call you then? Crazy, unstable. But you're not crazy. You were just quiet for way too long. So how do you break that cycle without having that big blow up? Well, the answer isn't sending some super long emotional text message explaining all your feelings. Nope. It's about taking action. It's about consequences, not paragraphs. This is what we call high-value energy. It's the total opposite of a big, loud explosion. It's firm, it's calm, and it's incredibly powerful. It's not about raising your voice. It's about a subtle but totally unmistakable shift in your vibe that just says, yeah, that's not going to work for me, without ever having to get into a big fight. And here's what that actually looks like. It's not about arguing. It's a quiet adjustment. You shift your energy. You're not as available as you used to be. Your tone changes, just slightly. Basically, you change their level of access to you. And this is so, so important to get. Your time, your energy, your attention, none of that is a right someone is entitled to. It is a privilege that you grant. And like any privilege, it absolutely can and should be taken away when someone abuses it. Sometimes the way people treat us is really just a reflection of how we treat ourselves. If you're constantly overgiving, always people-pleasing, staying in situations you shouldn't, you're basically sending out a signal that your own time and energy don't have much value. Okay, so all of this brings us to one final, really powerful idea. It's a reframing of the whole situation, and it all comes down to a single question. A question that honestly can change your perspective on everything. We all ask the wrong question at first. The one we go to is, why would they do that to me? And look, I get it. We've all been there. But that question, it just makes you a victim. It's a total dead end. It gives you no answers, no power, nothing to work with. But if you flip it, if you ask this question instead, everything changes. Ask, what made them think they could? Whoa, see that? All of a sudden, the power is right back in your court. It forces you to look at the signals you were sending, the data you were giving away, the lines you didn't draw in the sand. The answer isn't out there with them, it's in here with you. Really letting that sink in, that one little shift from why me to what about me allowed this, that is the absolute master key to taking back control of your life. It stops being about their bad behavior and starts being about your standards. Because at the end of the day, when someone disrespects you, it's not actually a judgment on your worth. It's feedback. It's information. It's your chance to teach a new lesson, to reset your boundaries, and to decide who actually gets the privilege of being in your life. You are the one in charge of the guest list. You are the gatekeeper.